Okay, here in Rhode Island, we finally got some rain, and the last 2 weeks we've had a couple nice rounds of soakers. The other day we had a good 5-6 hours worth of rain, but it's amazing. The ground is completely rock solid and powder dry. And so all those rains that are coming down, especially the ones that are coming down in the form of thunderstorms, are not doing any good towards getting into the ground. They're great for catch basins and reservoirs and anywhere that gets runoff, not the surface. For an example, I want to show you one spot right here in the yard that we just had storms last week. And like I just mentioned, we had a good here at our retail store. We had 5 or 6 hours worth of rain the other day. It felt refreshing. It felt good. But let's take a look at what actually happened and what really matters in our lawn. So the ground is pretty crispy. This area here is powder, powder, powder. And as I take a wedge out and have that is rock solid and it's just powder. And then as I dig down deeper, getting down 5, 6, 7 inches, I'm not hitting anything of any kind of what I would consider moisture content. Now we have another round of rain coming. Each one of these bouts is helping a little bit, but on their own, if you ever had a brand new sponge and you bought a brand new sponge and you walk over and you hold it underneath the water, it actually repels the water. It actually stops and resists water at first. Then once it gets saturated and you wring it out, at that point, it starts sucking up moisture pretty quick. And right now, that's what's happening to our lawns and landscapes. If you've been irrigating your flower beds or you've been putting some moisture on your grass, then it probably loved all those little rains that came through. But if you're like most of us and we're just letting it go dry, it's repelling that water and most of it just runs off. We need a whole lot more of these 5, 6, ideally 24-hour rain events in order to really get that moisture in the ground. So what does all this really mean for our lawns? For our lawns and flower beds, we don't really know. We don't know how long this drought's going to last. I know it's been a really long time since we had good soaking rain and that I felt the grass was happy and healthy. Way into spring, we were dry. So all these rains are helping avoid some of the water bans and such because the reservoirs are getting topped off. But as far as the yards go, it's a trade-off. It is now end of August. Soon we'll be getting into what I consider the best time of year to renovate a lawn. It's typically September, October. But that only the criteria on that is that we're getting rain or that you're able to irrigate and you're able to water. So right now, immediately at the end of August, no, I'm not rushing out and trying to overseed any areas in my yard. What I find is that the years are the most driest, the grass comes back beautifully once we finally get rain. It's a matter of how long we have to wait for that. There's been quite a few years where the rain just did not come back until the end of October. And then all of a sudden the grass starts coming back, it flourishes out for like a week, and then we drop down into the 50s, and then everything starts shutting down again for the season. And so for the grass, how well it handles these droughts, in my opinion, just depends on who knows. It all depends on how long we have to wait for this rain to really substantially come back. So if you're thinking about renovating, what I'm doing is this rain is helping a little bit. You can see where all the pockets of the weeds are. The grass is completely dormant. So if you wait till right after one of these rainstorms come through and then start spot spraying some of the weeds in your yard, it's all about gearing up for the renovation in the fall. Right now, while you can see the weeds like a sore thumb because it's the only green thing in your yard, you can, right after a rain and a cool time of the day, go through and start spot spraying those weeds to try to get rid of them. And then hopefully in a couple weeks from now, we keep cooling off a little bit, and hopefully the rain keeps coming back, and then we can get right back to renovating our lawns and get that seed in the ground to renovate areas that didn't make it through the drought and make sure that you're up and running for next season. And it's always take advantage of the fall to get your grass up and running, and then just stay on a good renovation or a good lawn care program next season to baby that brand new grass. I don't recommend renovating in the spring. Always do the fall.